Let me paint a picture. You're a high school senior, currently in the midst of your very, very, very important preliminary exams. Plus, you have a major art assignment due. And at the same time, you're a content creator who's trying to grow his platforms by posting consistently. Oh, I forgot to mention that your main preoccupation is trying to become a successful mangaka, so you're working on a 3 chapter one shot. Sounds pretty overwhelming, doesn't it? You know what you decide to focus on amidst all of this? Making another manga in the middle of all of it. Oh, by the way, you have 4 days to finish a 15-page one shot. You really hate yourself, huh? Remember that art assignment I mentioned? Well, I'm gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone and use the manga for the assignment, plus releasing it on my own. And I started working on this manga my last week of prelims, and I only had to prepare for my art theory paper, so my schedule was actually pretty flexible. It literally consisted of me waking up, studying for like 2 hours max, then I would draw for hours on end. Thank God for good music. Alright, onto the manga's production. I already had the protagonist design ready because I had drawn it like 2 weeks prior in like this random wave of motivation, so I saved quite a bit of time on the planning department. Due to the deadline being so tight for this, I had to lock in. I used this app called Work Timer to maximize my time and hold myself accountable for any slacking. And in case you don't know what Work Timer is, it's an application that tracks your focused work on a specific application and registers all the other time you spend opening other apps or being on other apps as wasted time. So your lazy ass can feel bad. You should try it. It's really good for your self-esteem. For the actual manga work, I really wanted to push myself artistically and make a manga with genuinely impressive art, because I've noticed that I fall into the trap of worrying so much about finishing a manga that the art gets compromised. So for this manga, I was super neurotic about making sure that the art is immaculate. I even compiled 2 reference boards, one for backgrounds that I would struggle with and the other for the main character's clothes. She wears superstars and track pants. Adidas should sponsor me for real at this point. I'm always drawing superstars. But yeah, the reference boards are actually pretty helpful despite them not being that full. Oh, and side note, if you know me, you're aware of how uncoordinated and unorganized and unplanned I am. So me making reference boards means something, bro. Like, my Pinterest is a cesspool. The rest of the production was pretty straightforward. I planted my ass on my desk and just drew, with the exception of eating and sleeping, of course, and shitting. Alright, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Honestly, the main reason I decided to make this manga, setting aside my school preoccupations and my other projects, was because I felt like a failure. And not in the sense of me being like super self-deprecating or whatever, because I'm goated and I know how goated I am, and I'm only gonna get more good in the future, and so are you. But I felt like a failure in relation to Kaizen. You know, the manga that I made in 24 hours and made a video about, which did really well, by the way. Thanks for watching that. But I honestly did not feel fully fulfilled with Kaizen. I felt fulfilled in the sense of I created something without placing too many expectations on myself, and just drawing for the fun of it, like a little kid again, and it was really fun. But I feel like I gave myself way too much credit in the sense of like, oh my god, I drew for 24 hours straight, I'm so productive, I'm so disciplined, I work so hard, when in fact I was not disciplined at all. I'm a liar. I spent 24 hours drawing that manga, and the art does not reflect that. The art is dog shit, and the narrative isn't even better, dog. It's both. The manga is mid. It's a mess. Let me ask you a question. What makes a good manga? Is it knowing that the mangaka spent like a gajillion hours working on it and they had a bunch of sleepless nights? That can certainly add a new layer of respect and appreciation for the work, but ultimately, if a manga is dog shit, then it's dog shit. It doesn't matter how much effort a nigga put into it. Let's be honest. And was Kaizen a good manga? No, it wasn't. Which had me asking myself, why do I make manga? Is it so I can make 12-minute YouTube videos on how I spent 24 hours straight making a manga? No, it's not. I was being immensely disingenuous, and I forgot the whole point of why I do the thing that I do, and it's because I love manga. Manga is my favorite medium ever. I love how it continuously forces you to challenge yourself by trying to express the most that you can with the little that you have, you know, black and white. The medium was literally born out of limitations. Anyway, yeah, and I kind of threw away all those principles when I made Kaizen, and I gave myself credit for the wrong things. And don't get me wrong, I still think the messaging I gave in that video about it is still very valid. Draw for fun. If you don't enjoy it, then don't do it. Don't set too high expectations for yourself if they don't align with your happiness. But that does not justify lying to yourself. Post the release of the Kaizen video and Kaizen, I got a lot of criticisms in relation to the manga, and my immature ass would brush them off or push them away because I was afraid of accepting the fact that, yo, that manga is not good. Just because you spend blank amount of time on it doesn't mean it's good, and you should accept that, and you should value that criticism and apply it into doing better in your next project. And with me now developing a little bit, my frontal lobe is this much bigger. I took those criticisms and I decided to apply them headfirst into making this manga. Oh shit, I can't say the name of the manga yet. This manga is an affirmation, and I created it to prove myself again. I wanted to prove to myself in specific that I can make something valuable, something that means something to me, something that I'm genuinely proud of without any strings attached to it. I wanted to dial back and make a overall just good manga with nothing else to worry about. So in its production, I set aside all distractions and focused exclusively on working on that. Another thing that I wasn't particularly happy with in relation to Kaizen was, yeah, I spent 24 hours working on it, but a lot of that time was unfocused and just inefficient. There were a lot of moments I was doom scrolling, or I would take breaks that were a little too long. I spent a little too long talking to my friends on Discord, and that definitely affected the result. And with this manga, I really wanted to avoid that, so I cut myself off from all these instant gratification sources and just fully locked in. And I will say, I feel immensely more fulfilled and proud of Dissociate than I do with Kaizen, and I hope, actually, I know it'll be reflected in the final result. Do your best, be honest with yourself, and overall just enjoy drawing. I realized that drawing is really fun when you're doing your best. I feel like a lot of the lessons I be learning in my videos are so simple and so just like self-explanatory, and I just go on these long-winded ass tangents to find them, but I think those are necessary in a sense. This manga definitely isn't perfect or anything. It's a 15-page one-shot with one main protagonist and the most linear story known to man. But what makes me the most satisfied is that I can say with 100% certainty that the effort I put in is equally proportionate to the result that I got. Yo, Farfusion Aledi, and I have a really funny and interesting story for y'all. So in the time that's passed since me recording all the parts of the main video and all that, a lot has happened. I released Associate and it got pretty good reception within the days that was out. We'll get back to that. But yeah, I'm super stoked with the reception. It really motivated and inspired me, and it's probably the most successful a work of mine has ever done, which is really exciting and really motivating, and it gives me more hope and motivation to keep doing this. It's genuinely one of my favorite things I've ever made, and I'm so stoked y'all like it. But here's the interesting part of the story. So my manga kind of got censored / privated / low-key cancelled on Manga Plus creators, which is kind of interesting. And the reason it got privated, which is just it was put down, and I'm the only one that can see it because it violates their submission guidelines. And to be fair,
this is kind of my fault as well for being a dumbass that doesn't read. The thing that I did in this manga explicitly goes against their submission guidelines. So cool, whatever. But I'm still gonna rant because I still think it's unfair on a grander scale. Basically, the reason my manga got pirated is because in their submission guidelines, it states that you're not allowed to explicitly mention sex or any sexual content. And in my manga, there spoilers. Skip this part if you don't hear spoilers. But the main conflict is the main character was nearly sexually harassed by another character, and she raises this. And I use one very bad word in a dialogue, and that word is sex. And because of that word, my manga got pirated. Now, my manga doesn't contain any like visual, like explicit sexual content. It's literally just that one word, and it wasn't even in a sexual context. It was literally put there to condemn acts of sexual harassment and just objectification of women and all that, and it was made to be, I guess, uplifting. And yeah, it's kind of lame that got put down. The main purpose of those guidelines is because the website is for all ages and whatnot, so whatever, I get it, right? But it's like, this website, not naming any names or whatever, contains a lot of manga with, you know, the typical hypersexualized manga anime female designs. And you know, I'm not trying to be some virtue signaling almighty fucking moral high ground jerk here or whatever, but it's like, all these manga that exist with blatant objectification and over sexualization are okay just because they don't explicitly say the word sex. But my manga, you know, condemning the subject of sexualization and objectification gets cancelled just because of one word. You know, it just really makes me upset, because I genuinely wanted to convey an important message with this. And I don't know if I'm really raising awareness or whatever, but I just wanted to give a commentary on how I feel on the matter, I guess, and just show that women are sick, man. Respect women, man. There's more to women besides fucking being objects of sexual desire.
Thanks so much for watching. I have a bunch more ideas in the works, and I've just graduated high school, so you know what that means. I can go balls deep into this manga animation thing. Actually not, because I have college next year, so that balance is going to be fun. But anyway, I'm really trying to make this whole manga and YouTube thing feasible. So if you really enjoyed my video and you actually gained something from it, please consider checking out my Patreon. There's a bunch of perks, like your name at the end of every video, and a cute little chibi sketch of whatever you want. It's $5. Support would be much appreciated. Thanks again for watching this whole silly video. You can read Dissociate and all my other manga in the description, and check out my social medias, I guess. That's all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.